Hello, second grade. I hope you're having an awesome day and that you're ready to get started learning. So, we are going to go back to our book about reptiles and we are going to ask some more focused questions. We might use our skills of inferencing and pulling in prior knowledge to answer some of our questions. Okay. So, we're going to go all the way back to the beginning. What is a reptile? So I'm going to ask a question on some pages and I want you to think about your answer and then we will talk about it together. Why are scales important for reptiles? Yes, they protect a reptile's body because a lot of reptiles are very close to the ground, so having hard scales protect them from predators and from being injured. Okay, explain what the word cold-blooded means. Yes, cold-blooded means that their body temperature matches the temperature around them. Okay, are reptiles mostly herbivores or carnivores? Yes, reptiles are carnivores. Reptiles eat bugs, fish, and birds. They eat mammals and reptiles too. Um, Most don't have good teeth for chewing, so they swallow their prey whole. Okay, I want you to think of a couple of ways, and we already talked about one, how reptiles keep themselves safe from predators. Okay, so if you said their colors help them stay safe, where they blend in with their surroundings, that's correct. If you talked about their scales, that's correct. And they can run really fast. And some lizards have the ability to shed their scale. So if something gets their tail, they can shed their scale, and that's another way that they protect themselves from predators. I want you to think about all of the reptiles you know, snakes, lizards, turtles. How are turtles different than other reptiles? Yes, turtles have a shell that other reptiles don't have. Um, but if turtles are different than reptiles, I wonder, can you think of reasons why they're still considered reptiles, even though they're different because they have a shell? Yes, turtles are cold-blooded. That makes them a reptile, and they lay eggs, which also puts them in the same group as reptiles. Okay. I want you to think for a moment about what this lizard is doing. Can you explain what this lizard is doing? Yes, this lizard is showing off a colorful part of his body as a mating message. Okay, I want you to think about our world without reptiles. What would our world be like if reptiles didn't exist? Yes, reptiles help humans in many ways. They eat bugs and mice that harm crops. Crops are the food that we eat. So if we didn't have reptiles, those bugs and mice would eat the crops and we would have less food. Rattlesnake poisons can be turned into medicines. If we didn't have rattlesnakes, we wouldn't have those medicines that are made out of rattlesnake poison. This page says that reptiles are becoming extinct. What are some things that we can do to protect reptiles? Yes, we can make sure that we do not put our trash on the ground, and we can protect reptiles' homes. Okay, awesome, second grade. So your prompt in Class Kick is just exactly what the last question we talked about is how would our world be different without reptiles, and how can we keep reptiles from becoming extinct? Great job, second grade. Okay, for math, we are going to make another line plot. Today, we are going to measure things around my home, and we are going to keep data, and we're going to make a line plot. Okay, so I am going to measure things around my home. This is my ruler. Sorry, it's clear. You can't really see it. And so I'm going to measure some things. So my table is 3 inches, and I'm going to write down a tally mark under 3 inches. My chair is 3 inches. It's another tally mark for my chair. My candle is 4 inches. I'm going to put a tally mark on 4 inches. My hand is 3 inches. My other hand, also 3 inches. My dinosaur is 8 inches. Okay, so I took some measurements for other things around my house as well, and this is what I have come up with. I have 5 things that are 3 inches, 2 things that are 4 inches, 3 things that are 5 inches, 2 things that are 6 inches, 6 things that are 7 inches, and 1 thing that is 8 inches. Ooh. Okay, second grade, so just like earlier in the week, I'm going to draw my line plot. Now, I did not measure anything that was 0 inches because there's no such thing. So I don't need to start with 0. And in fact, my smallest item was 3 inches. So I'm just going to start at 3. And my biggest item was 8 inches. So I'm going to go all the way to 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whoa. 8. So I have 5 things that were 3 inches. So I'm going to come to my plot. 5. I have 2 things that were 4 inches. I have 3 things that were 5 inches. I have 2 things that were 6 inches. 6 things that were 7 inches. And 1 thing that was 8 inches. Okay, second grade, so let's talk about our graphs and discuss. What 2 lengths had the same amount of items? Yes, 6 inches and 4 inches both had 2 items. Which length or measurement had the most amount of items? Yes, the most amount of things in my home were 7 inches long. Which amount of things had the least? Yes, 8 inches. I only had 1 thing in my home that was 8 inches. Okay, awesome. Head on over to Class Kick and you will be working on another line plot today. Have a great day, second grade.